Hey everyone, this is Holly from Hot Humble Pie, and we are doing some super cute Easter DIYs today. And if you stick around till the end, I've got a surprise for you. And as always, I hope you enjoy the show. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love it if you hit that button. You're going to grab some Dollar Tree wood planks, some of their waste baskets. You can also use their little tiny baskets for this. Just get some of that netting. And they also have some super cute like grill grate that you can use if you go to the kitchen area. That's another substitute if you can't find the basket. And we're using 4 of these wood planks today. I am using wood glue because wood glue will hold it permanently, just like nails. For those of you that don't know about wood glue on raw wood, it holds it right with the fibers of the wood and becomes one with the wood, and it's just super strong, and it's a great glue to choose for something that has skinny little edges like this. I did use some hot glue just to secure it and some masking tape so it could dry so it wouldn't slip while I was working. And then I took some watered down paint, it was just brown paint, and stained it. Now I'm going to take that square that I made, and I did stretch it out as much as I could, and I'm tracing it with a black marker so that it will fit the back side of this box. Then you use some really good hot glue to glue it on the back of, or the front. Well, in this case, it's going to be the back of the box. And then I trimmed the edges just so I don't hurt myself or stab myself. And where the glue was, the paint didn't really adhere because, it was shielded with the glue. So I just took some black paint to cover that and hide it a little bit. Next, I took some pewter gray from Apple Barrel Paint, and I'm changing the color of the trash can part to make it gray. I'm going to take this pearlescent one and make it look like metal. I'm just going to put that over the top of it so it's nice and shiny. So now it's silver shiny. So if you find that barbecue grate from Dollar Tree, it's already good to go. And you could skip all of that. So that's awesome. So now I'm taking this bird that I found from Michael's craft store. It was green, and it's just going to kind of disappear in the backdrop. So you'll see why in a minute. I decided to paint it white and make it look like one of those plaster of Paris birds. I don't know where I've seen this before, but I've seen the little white birds. I think they're kind of like weathered or something. They're supposed to look weathered. So I took some pewter gray, just tapped it onto the bird. And then I grabbed some darker gray called charcoal gray, also from Apple Barrel Paint. With a sponge, I just kind of tapped little chipped marks on it. It looks very French or European. I don't know. I think it looks maybe like a dove. Somebody help me. If you guys know what that kind of art is or that look, someone leave a comment down below. But then I grabbed some cardboard. I cut it out to fit inside the bottom of the box, put some Mod Podge on, put my moss on top of that, and that way I'm not committed if I want to switch the little scene out. And then I just popped that little birdie in. I popped some greenery in there, and oh my gosh, this came up so pretty. For this one, I just used some scrap wood that I found at Home Depot. It's the same, literally the same thickness as a Dollar Tree sign. So you could absolutely use 3 Dollar Tree signs and hold them together by gluing poster board on the back of that. I've done that before, and then just put lines on purpose like it looks like it's supposed to be planks of wood. You know what I mean? I've shown that in other videos where you can score the board to match the little seams where they all attach in the front, so it just looks like planks of wood. And I took some of the Dollar Tree, they were like little wooden letters that I found there, and I spelled out Happy Easter, everybody. And then I just traced it with a white chalk pen and filled it in with some white acrylic paint. Then I just stressed it with some white paint. You can skip that if that's not your vibe. And I took some of the Dollar Tree twine. I glued and duct taped it onto the back of the sign to hold it in place, and I just put it on the top. You'll see in a minute here, I'm using some of these little mini clothes pegs from Dollar Tree, and we're going to take these Dollar Tree carrots, and we're going to clothes peg them across this sign. I just thought that was so cute. But in the middle, I felt like it was missing something. So I put some computer paper up to my computer screen, and I traced the shape of a bunny, and I cut it out. Then I traced it onto the board, scribbled some white chalk pen in there and a little tail, and I think this came up so cute. Let me know what you think. My favorite Dollar Tree eggs are those little foam ones. I've talked about this before. I paint them and they look kind of like concrete. You can when you add baking soda to paint to make it look rough and textured, you can skip it because the foam already gives it that look. And then I just tapped some brown watered down wax on it and then some watered down blue paint. And I'm trying to make these look honestly like natural eggs that you would find in a bird nest. That's what I'm attempting to do. And you'll have to leave a comment to let me know if I nailed it or failed it, but I did my best. So I found this sign on clearance. It was a Christmas item and it was 50% off and I thought it would be great for Easter. And I'm about to show you the coolest craft hack ever to get a faux wood really fast. I just put it down and started spraying it with water to make it wrinkle up. That's like the faux bark. Now, looking back, you absolutely could probably just take this disappearing purple glue because it's already wet. It's a wet glue and just spray it on. It will wrinkle that way. I have also watered down Mod Podge 50/50 and put it in that same squirt bottle and it works just the same. So you squirt it down, you let it do its little thing, it's wrinkling up, and then you let it dry. And once it's dry, it's stuck to the Dollar Tree tray. I have to cut it off the tray, but you're going to have this really nice, hard, you can see how hard it is because when I cut it, it kind of flies away. This really firm cover on the house now that looks like faux bark. Now the look I was going for here was like a faux birch wood. And I just started off with some of the pewter gray again from Apple Barrel Paint. And I used browns and grays and you would want to add creams. I was going for, a different look. I do have a video that I do a really good faux birch wood that you can check out if you want. I'll leave the link in the description box. But you could make this any kind of wood. It doesn't have to be birch wood. This is faux bark, so you could feel free to paint this any kind of wood you want. So whatever your heart desires, check out some different kinds of trees and different kinds of branches, and you can make it look like that. But I think it is such a cool hack. Such a cool hack. But anyway, it used to be really hard to make bark, and now it's no brainer. So then I took some Spanish moss, and I'm gluing it on either side, on the bottom, all around, and then I kind of use my fingers to make a little indentation to make it like a nest, and we're popping those eggs in that I painted. I did have to glue them down because they were falling out, and then I added some lavender, and that's it. I think this came up so cute as an Easter spring decor. You'll have to let me know what you think. Be sure to check out your discount and clearance aisles at Walmart and Hobby Lobby because I was finding such cheap signs. I mean, it's a little small window, you gotta hurry, but boy, are they cheap. And of course, they're a little heavier than the Dollar Tree ones, although the Dollar Tree, you can get signs like that now. So we're working with the Dollar Tree little wooden bunnies, and I skipped the part where I show you that I filled in the little holes at the top with some spackling because I've shown you that before. You just fill the holes in, let it dry, and then you sand it flat. Then I painted this sign, and where I kind of messed up and got on the edge, I used a little black marker to touch it up. There's the 4 bunnies, and we're going to be using these napkins that I found at the Dollar Tree to cover the bunnies with. So of course you just take them apart because they're usually double layered. Well, napkins are almost always double layered. And then I used a glue stick to, to try and avoid wrinkling because, and I've talked about this probably thousands of times, but it's, a drier glue. So I didn't have as you can see, if you look at it up close, I had 0 wrinkling and it's just a lot easier than a wet glue like Mod Podge. You could do Mod Podge if you want, but it's just more work and they all stick and you can definitely seal it with a Mod Podge, although I do recommend that you give it a light mist of something, some kind of shield, even hairspray, just so that the paper doesn't suddenly react with the Mod Podge that you're putting on the top. And then I took some Dollar Tree black ribbon and made little black bows for their necks and I glued that on each one. And then I took some Hobby Lobby ribbon that I got on 75% off. It actually comes on sale quite a bit. Again, you have to keep checking, but it's a good deal. And then the Dollar Tree ribbon is on the top there. That's the black one. And I made a little extra bow, took some boxwood, put a ton of hot glue because I wanted the greenery at the top. And then I covered that with the bow that I made. Last but not least, I glued a flower in the center of the bow. So we're going to go on to use Dollar Tree photo frames here. I chose the 8x10 ones, and I'm just taking the backs off, and I'm going to remove, see that little thing that holds I'm holding it right now? Save that, because you can actually glue that onto other Dollar Tree things you make and use it to hold your little picture up, so don't throw those away. I'm just going to be taking out the glass from one of the frames and using a really pretty Easter bunny window cling. Look at, isn't that cute? So I saw these on Amazon and I saw them on Temu, on both places. I think people buy stuff on Temu and then sell it on Amazon and mark it up. So that's kind of naughty. But I just put it there on top of the glass and I smoothed all the wrinkles out of it. Then I'm going to remove those little pegs that they use to hold the frame in. You're not going to need that. They'll show. And I am using E6000 because you need a bad boy glue here to hold this together. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the frame back in. I did use just a tiny bit of hot glue to hold everything in place because when you're crafting, you don't want things to wiggle around and it's an instant hold. And then I thought these butterflies were really cute. So I took those off and I just started placing them around the bunny's head. I only used 2 of the extra little stuff they had with the window clings because I didn't want to go overkill. I wanted to keep this simple. And then I'm using this holographic glitter. It is super fine, fragile glitter that sticks really good with static. I love this stuff. I've used it for a couple years now. It's down below in my description box if you're interested, but it makes a great glitter. It just adds a little bit of delicate sparkle. So I didn't need to put any glue on this at all because the static electricity did everything for me. And I am using some more of that bad boy glue, E6000, and some hot glue to glue the other frame on top to encase this. Then I purchased these little pegs that were meant for hanging stuff on Amazon, and I thought those would make super cute legs. You could stop there and make it like a window box. It would be really pretty just sitting on its side actually, but I wanted to make this a tray, and to get it to match, I used the color chocolate from Apple Barrel Paint. It was like a perfect match. I couldn't believe it. I got so lucky. And if you look up close to the Dollar Tree frames, they have a little bit of black in them. It looks like they're dry. Can you see that? So I just did a little bit of dry brushing with black to get them to match, and we're done. I know there's videos out there that show you how to cut the perfect cone. I've always done it this way because I just like to get things done fast. But I know there's another way to do this. I just roll it till it looks like a cone, and then I glue it down. I put it on my surface right there to see if it's uneven or if it's standing up straight. And if it is uneven or I need to make any adjustments, I'll cut it again at the bottom until I get it right. So now I'm just putting my final strip of hot glue on the edge there to seal that edge down nice and tight so that we have a nice cone shape to work with. Now I was worried with this DIY that it would be too light because as you can see, we are using foam eggs and they don't have a lot of weight to them. But you literally do not need to worry about that at all because by the time you add the gobs and gobs of hot glue on here, it weighs it down. So don't worry. Now I went and got the garland at Dollar Tree because at the time it was the cheapest way that I could get the most eggs. And as you guys know, I love the foam eggs because they have texture when you paint them. So I just took them all off, cut them in half, and then I started gluing them around the bottom of the cone, and I'm just going to cover the entire cone. Now see when I'm gluing it down, you'll see me kind of press down on the cone a little bit. It's because the cone got flat when I was cutting it. So in order to give it shape again, here I go right there, in order to kind of help get the round shape again, I pressed in the opposite direction and then the glue dries in that circular shape and it helps you get your cone shape back. So that's a nice little trick. And then once it was covered, I just wanted to tone down these eggs and wanted to get rid of the glitter. You could stop right there. The glitter is really pretty, but I just wanted them to look more like, I don't know, that rough texture again, like baking soda mixed with paint. Textured paint, I guess. was on there. I just think that it is the look that matches the rest of my decor. So I also didn't like how dark the blue was, so I took a lighter blue and I painted the blue over that as well. And then to take care of all that poster board that is showing in between the eggs, you're just going to glue some kind of moss in between. I went with the moss that Dollar Tree sells. It's not the reindeer moss. You know how they sell a Spanish moss, they sell a reindeer moss, and then they sell another moss that is kind of like a mix of green and brown. I forgot the name of it because I took it out of its packages and put it into one Ziploc bag, but that's what I went with. And I just literally covered the whole cone. And like I said, when you're done with this guy, oh my gosh, he is heavy like nobody's business because there is gobs and gobs of hot glue. If you use wet glue, you won't get the same effect, but that is the benefit of using the hot glue. It's like a paperweight. And if you are still with me and made it this far in the video, not only are you probably statistically my ride and die fans, I love you guys so much, but I am giving away a $100 Amazon gift card, and all you got to do is like the video and comment. You don't even have to say enter me in the giveaway. You don't have to do anything. Everyone who leaves a comment is going to be entered. So you could just say hi. Just say hi. And I am gluing this on top of Spanish moss, and I put weights at the bottom of a Dollar Tree little pink bucket that I found. It was like a seasonal thing during Easter, and this came up so pretty. I just gave it a haircut. You'll have to let me know what you think down below, but I think this is a classic Easter/spring decor piece. And I did add a raffia bow on the top. I cut the tails off, and look at that. Is that not beautiful? It makes such a great kitchen table centerpiece or a coffee table, a shelf. You know, if you've got a shelf and you want a little bit of height. Anyway, let me know which one was your favorite in today's video. Don't forget to leave a comment. If you want to be entered, I will be announcing the winner in the next video. And of course, here's another video I think you'll enjoy watching next.